Welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Soul, Mind, and Business podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather, and together we are working to connect women in leadership and business, empowering each other, improving the health and wellness of our community, body, mind, and soul, connecting to the heart and soul of who we are and what we do.
Today, we have our very special international guest with us today who loves to help people embrace who they are and just be more awesome at it. The wonderful and amazing Maria Tan. Maria, we're so happy to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be back and to really share with everybody here how authenticity is not just a trend. It's actually a birthright, right? We're
Mhm.
also unique, we're also different. And
Mhm.
if we only allow ourselves to not just embrace, but embody the most real version of ourselves, the world will actually reward us for that. And I think that's the one reason why many people pretend to be someone else so that they can have better career, better acceptance. But it's actually the opposite. It's when you embody and embrace the most authentic you, it's when the world shows up with you.
Yeah. And it's really magical when you're in that place of authenticity to just see everything fall together.
It is. It's like I got goosebumps when you said that. I was like, that is so incredible. It's not going anywhere to continue to be authentic. Like, it's a good feature to have. You're a better communicator at all. Like, people love you just the way you are. You don't have to be anything else.
And Maria, you are also an amazing businesswoman. So why don't you take a couple minutes and share about your business, and then we'll get to today's topic.
Well, my name is Maria. I am known as the business coach for misfits because I specialize in helping what I call the misunderstood geniuses, the nonconformists, the trailblazers, create that financial ecosystem around what makes them unique, what makes them different. Because I truly believe that when we allow ourselves to shine in our difference, to own our weird, to own our difference, it's when we can truly make a difference in this world.
Yeah, only you're weird.
Own your weird. I like that. That should be your hashtag. Hashtag own your weird. I love it. Oh, we are.
So you had something that you wanted to share with us today. You have some really exciting training coming up.
Yes, so I am going to have my free 5-day challenge this August 18, 2022. And it is all about helping you get your mojo back so that you can reboot your business. Because this is what I'm hearing a lot right now. Like a lot of people are feeling disconnected, demotivated by their businesses. And I think partly because of the economy, right? There's so many doomsday forecasts of economic recession, economic downturn, and partly also because people are just so tired and kind of like really tired of trying to do it all and not get anywhere. So this challenge is for you if you are feeling so overwhelmed, feeling so out of sorts, feeling so out of focus, and just really wanting to jump into that high horse and get back on track. I'm going to share with you how I stay in momentum despite all the challenges that I have gone through, including getting COVID and almost dying from it, and still closing the year with a profit.
Word.
That's
Drop the
amazing.
mic. And I think that's an overwhelming thought. Like, wow. But I love that you're willing to share like how you do that. Like, how is it you get your mojo back? Like, that's super exciting. And what a great time of year to do it too. That, it's kids are starting to go back to school. Some places across the country they start here in a week or so. By the time you got, we'll be moving into our kids going back to school too. Like, it's happening. So I think as moms and business owners, like, this is the time when we want to have our mojo back, right? Like, we're like, September's our month. We're gonna own it. We're gonna, that's perfect. So why not start in August?
Right?
Right.
Why not start today?
Well,
Exactly,
that's
right?
true, but
Start
Why
today.
not start today?
Why not start today? So, tell us a little bit more about that. Like what that feeling is like for you. Like to get the mojo back, to get the momentum back. For me, it feels very uplifting and encouraging and energizing. Like I have like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's popping out of bed. Like there's something when I'm ready, like I'm awake and I want to go. Like I know what I'm doing for my day. I feel very powerful. That's what my mojo feels like for me. Like I just feel powerful and ready to take on the world. Like, how about you?
And imagine having all that and still having your business.
Right.
Imagine how you can easily supercharge your business with
Mhm.
that, because I think a lot of people, it's lovely how we started a conversation on uh you know uh getting out of bed or having that energy bunny, right? But a
Mhm.
lot of people are actually disconnected to their business. Just the thought of their business is
Mhm.
exhausting. They're having
Mhm.
difficulty um finding their why again, kind of like they're not in
Mm,
that zen anymore, that ikigai, especially with people who've been in this industry for a while now, right? Like,
Mhm.
again, it's all these constant bad news that you hear. Later it's,
Yeah.
I don't know, gas prices, etc., etc. There's so much gloomsday forecast right now
Mhm.
everywhere around us. It seems like
Mhm.
you never know if it's, you don't know if, I think the worst would be thinking you're not even sure how you're going to die. Is it an earthquake? Is it a volcano eruption? Is it a flood? Or is a war? No,
right.
let's be really, really honest. Like that,
Uh-huh.
we are already at this stage where everything around us seems out of control,
Mhm.
and there is really nothing that we can do except stay focused on our big why. But then a lot of people cannot even remember that why, scratching their head, feeling like, what's the point? So there's really a lot of these sentiments right now. And I hope to, well, make my difference by sharing how I stay in momentum. It's so rare for me to lose my mojo or lose my
Mhm.
focus. Um, I think that's why a lot of people always assume that I sleep a lot, or not sleep a lot, that I'm ultra busy, or, well, I am busy, but I delegate a lot of things. I don't really work that as much as people think. And I think people always get this impression that I never sleep, that because when I'm on, I'm on. Like when you
Mm,
speak to me, I'm really full energy. And
Mhm.
I can sustain that
Mhm.
without any pretense, without any external support, external help, because I am very centered, and I'm going to share with you my secrets in those 5 days.
Oh, I'm so
oh,
excited.
I like that, centered,
Oh,
because
that's centered.
we've been doing a meditation challenge to just sit in love for 15 minutes, or we've been actually going through like different ways to meditate, because I think that we're all like, meditation is getting into zen, and legs crossed,
There's a preconceived
you
notion
know
about what meditation looks like.
yeah,
And so we're trying to, break that down, that it's not necessarily what looks one way. And, just like finding your
Well,
why.
nothing looks one way, right?
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
I love that.
Nothing
Nothing
looks
is
one
one
way.
way.
And so, what brings one person that moment of Zen might not work for another person,
Right.
you know.
Exactly.
Um, and I think that works really well with what we're talking about finding your why and getting your mojo back, and going to this training that you're doing here, because it's that focus
Mhm.
piece. Whether you're meditating, whether you're, in the moment with your work, you're finding your why. That takes focus. Working on your why, all of that takes
And
focus.
peeling back the layers of your why, and
Mhm.
getting deeper into it till you get there. that does take all of that energy and bringing things in.
Mhm. Maria, what do you think?
Well, everything that you said is I agree with, and I think I'm a very anti-hustler, so I always think we shouldn't be constantly working on our why. It shouldn't be work.
Right.
Right.
It should be us really, really leaning into that why, really, really kind of like making it so much integrated into who we are, into our business, into our everyday lives. And I think that's the one thing that that people get flustered with, and that's why the disconnect happens. I think there is so much information out there that, like you said, people get confused about what it means to meditate, for example, what it means to have a work life balance, and all of this. I think everybody's looking for that perfect thing, like perfect balance, perfect strategy, perfect blueprint. And of course there's always pillars of everything, but you have to know, or you have to be okay making it yours. I think the biggest misconception right now is that that push for being. And I always tell this to my clients: being does not mean not doing.
Nice.
That's good.
Can you say that?
Being
Yeah, say
does
that
not
again.
mean not doing.
Nice.
So being does not mean not doing.
Wow.
Now, I think we've always said that, right? Like, oh my God, we are not human doing, we are human being. So be. But how can and I think people, because we've never really allowed ourselves to be, we don't really know what that means. So I think
Right.
people associate being with non-action. But for me, it's about taking the actions that are really aligned with you. There's
Yes.
a very big difference between non-action and aligned actions. And I think being is about doing you.
Yeah.
Doing you. I like
Doing
that. I like that a lot. I want to digest that a little. That's really cool.
you. I love it. This is really, really powerful, you guys.
I'm going back to when we were talking several months ago now. We were talking about, as you are making more aligned choices and they feel better, you will make less of those choices that don't feel good. And as
Of
you
course, you don't have
feel
space
that,
for them anymore, right?
yeah, like it's super powerful, because you think, well, how am I going to say no to people? Well, it becomes easier when you're full with the joyful things
Yes.
that are the things you chose, the things you
I, I
decided
think
on.
I think it's easier because it's not a thing anymore.
It's not a thing anymore.
It's not a thing anymore.
It's a thing. It's not a thing
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
I love
Because
it.
see, for me, I look at it as something like, okay, if you're going to, let's say, someone's home and someone asks you, hey, do you need to pee? Do you need to use the loo? Well, you're not going to say yes if you don't need it, right? So, but because we don't make it a thing, it's just so natural for us. We're just being at that moment of, do I need to do? No. So I go, right? But with people saying no, as in, saying no to other people, they're associating it so much with self-worth, with how people perceive them. It's becoming now a thing, but
They're
it
taking
should
it
not be.
personally.
Right.
Exactly. They're
Yeah.
they're not just taking it personally, they're encroaching their identity with that word. They're encroaching their identity with that decision or non-decision. So it becomes a thing.
And it doesn't have to be a thing.
Exactly.
Mm.
And it's a thing that feels really heavy and yucky. So let's just toss it out. I like
Stop
that.
it. Stop
it. Just
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. And sometimes, like, I've noticed that I have become so in tune with my own authenticity that when I don't feel right about something, I automatically know it's not right for me.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Like, if it's a yes, it's a yes. Like, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, right now. Um, and being able to listen to my own inner knowing, my own intuition has grown me as a person so much, um, because I'm not judging myself as much as I used to. I've gotten out of my head, out of that, out of justing myself. I don't just yourself. You're not just anything. And I
The new bad words, just and should.
just and should are bad words now. And I've been able to get out of my own head and stop taking the agreements that I wasn't enough and I wasn't worthy, and the aren'ts and wasn'ts that I had believed to be true about myself that aren't. And being able to get out of that, I have grown so much, and I've been able to do so much more, and I've been a lot more motivated and energized, and being able to speak with authenticity and use my own voice without worrying about what anybody else is going to think of it. And that is like super powerful, and it's been part of that really finding and uncovering my way. And I know Maria can um, relate to that a little bit.
I think at the end of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to go beyond not just thinking or not just ignoring or not thinking about what others think.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to go into what do I think
Mm-hmm.
of me right now? Because I feel like, again,
That's a better way
the
to put
world
it.
is
Yeah.
so polarized
Mm-hmm.
because with the world being so polarized, we kind of like think of, hey, um you shouldn't be thinking about what other people think. But if that is who you are, then you're desensitizing a part of you that's you.
Mm-hmm.
And like me, I'm myself because I accept every aspect of me.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there is a part of me that cares about what other people think. So it's just to keep it in balance, right? In check.
Mm-hmm.
So I also know that there's a part of me that can overeat when the time comes, because I have a very addictive personality.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes me so good at what I do. Because when I go do something, I go all in. When I love somebody, I go all in. So just imagine how suffocating that can be. But I have to accept that. I have to allow for that. At the same time, I have to also be okay with that version of me
Mm-hmm.
that might overdo sometimes, that might overthink sometimes, might overspeak sometimes, but knows how to kind of like navigate the terrain moving forward.
I like that. I've been using the word routine. Like, what is my routine going to be when I overdo, when I committed to something that I really
Exactly.
shouldn't have? What is my routine so that I can be centered for me? And I liked that word instead of a plan or something, because it feels like, okay, this is going to be normal. Like, how do I normalize these things for myself so that I know what I need? And I think that you're going to have all the tools to do that in this challenge. So how does someone connect with you to do this challenge, Maria?
Okay, so go to www.maria-tan.com/Mojo.
Excellent. Mojo. And we're going to definitely drop all those links. So be sure to click those and connect with Maria and join this amazing challenge.
I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. Like, we're going to, and make sure you're sharing that into our networking group, because we would love to have it in there. I think that all of us are excited, and they don't even know it yet.
Yeah, they don't even know it yet.
Yeah.
Maria, as a pleasure. It's always wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to have you, our amazing international guest. I follow you on all the social media.
Thank you.
Listeners, you can follow her too.
Yeah.
Go check her out. She's amazing, and she's always an inspiration to me, and I know to many, many, many other women around the world. So thank you again so much for joining us today, and
Pleasure.
we can't wait to see you again soon. And
Thank you.
As always, entrepreneurs, we want to remind you that we are leading the way in giving in our communities. So this quarter, we've chosen the cause of the quarter to be the Tears Foundation. They were local here in Puyallup, Washington, and they have expanded internationally. So it's a really neat organization. They have a gala coming up in October, and we're going to be going and hope having a table. And Charlie is taking donations for all sorts of things to be auctioned off. So if you have any donations, let her know. That would be awesome.
Silent auction baskets. I'm happy to pick them up on my way south.
Yeah. So yeah.
But it is definitely an amazing organization. They help with bereavement in the case of child loss.
They help families with the expenses
and
counseling, as well as are doing education all over the world on caring for our infants to help them live better lives. So it's really exciting.
It is really exciting.
And in preview of next quarter, Susan and Greta Otten are hiking the Appalachian Trail for the Michael J. Fox Foundation to raise money for Parkinson's disease. And we're going to get to interview them on trail for our next season's Cause of the Quarter. So you can always hit up their YouTube channel if you want to be part of the story now.
Their YouTube videos are amazing and wonderful, and I'm sure you will enjoy them. They're just amazing, fun.
And don't forget to watch to the end, because Ron Otten, he has Parkinson's disease, and he tells a joke at the end of every video, and he's fabulous.
I love fabulous. Him. I love him so much.
I'm so excited that it's so fun and addicting, like, to see the authentic people that and you've connected with. And then you get to go on this journey with them. It's really exciting. So that's my summer hiking experience, is the Appalachian Trail. I just am not walking it.
There we go.
This year.
And so we invite you to join in on our Cause of the Quarters, or find something that you want to contribute to yourself in love and light. And as always, thank you all for joining, following, and downloading the podcast. We love you all. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.
Namaste. Mwah.